What's up guys, Untitled Studios here, and I want to make a very quick video on just kind of explaining a simple thing that a lot of people who use vacuum cleaners, which is the majority of the population that use vacuum cleaners, often will make this mistake if they have a bagged vacuum cleaner. And I want to demonstrate this because this is a very important point, and a lot of people don't listen to it. Now, this is a Bissell Power Force bagged vacuum cleaner. It's pretty obvious, right? It says Power Force right on the front of it. Pretty hard to screw up. Anyways, notice how there's dust all over it? Now, this vacuum cleaner, look at the inside of this. You can see that, right? Look at that filter. How nasty that filter is. Now, you want to know a common theme that I see? Is that I constantly see where people will complain about their vacuums getting dirty and complain about the filtration of their machine and why it is that they turn on their vacuum and there's dust blowing all over the place and why they're sneezing and why their kids' allergies are acting up, and they do this. Now, you might be thinking, what are you referring to? It looks like that it just didn't do a good job filtering. Except, here's the problem. This thing had a Hoover Y bag in it. This is a Bissell, not a Hoover. This uses Bissell style 1 in 7 bags, not Hoover Y. The reason that's important, the reason why you have to not use Y bags in this vacuum cleaner is because those Y bags have bigger collars. The collar is not designed to fit this Power Force vacuum. This machine is designed for a specific size of bag collar, and the only bags that have that size collar are the style 1 in 7 bags. Pretty self-explanatory, right? I'm just smelling this thing and I want to sneeze all over it because this thing is just garbage. I'm probably getting corona from this video. But this machine, because the customer or because the previous person who had this vacuum used a Hoover Y bag, a bag that did not have a gasket on it, so it didn't seal against the bag collar, and it was too loose, meant that every time they sucked something up, there was dust blowing out through the back of the bag. Why do you think there's dust all over this section? Because that dust is being blown from the back of the bag into the bag chamber, and as a result, all that dust settles on the filter. I've owned these machines for years. I've had my Bissell Power Force 3522, which is very similar in design. It's identical in design to this machine, and I've had it since 2008. And especially now that I use HEPA bags, but even before, I've never once had to wash this pre-motor filter. The pre-motor filter in that machine still looks like it did whenever I took it out of the box. And that's because I used the correct bags. I never blew up a bag. I made sure to change the bag whenever it got full. Now, in the case of the one that I had, it had a bag change indicator on it. But if your machine doesn't have it, like this one doesn't, open it up every couple weeks and check the bag. And worst case scenario, if you don't have suction, change your bag. Even if your bag isn't full, if you don't have suction and there's no clog in the machine, your bag is clogged with fine dust. Change the bag. Now, you can see how filthy this filter is. Let's look at this machine. This is pretty much identical in design. It's just a different color. And if we look at this one, this back door's impossible to pull off. You see that? See how there's no dust inside of there? See how that filter's perfect? Because we used the correct bags. Not only that, but we used HEPA bags. HEPA bags make sure that no dust gets out of the bag. This is a cloth material, so you don't have to worry about the bag getting punctured, which you shouldn't be sucking up anything that would puncture a bag anyway, but we know people do it. So this has been subjected to all of that neglect and abuse. And now, because of that, I have to completely strip this thing down to the motor because there's dust inside the motor. Whenever I first turned it on, a big cloud of dust sprayed out of the side of it. Also, the post-motor filter is missing, so this person clearly did not take care of their vacuum. That means that this motor has been completely clogged with dust, and that means that the life of this motor is dramatically reduced versus a machine that has been properly maintained. And people wonder why these machines don't last very long because they don't take care of them. Because when you don't take care of your vacuum, it won't take care of you. Very, very simple. Also, just pretty obvious, check for clogs. Make sure your vacuum isn't clogged. If your motor's making a sound and it has no suction, make sure it's not clogged. Make sure the belt's good. All the usual stuff. It's just basic maintenance and basic common sense that will actually help you keep your machine running for years to come. Again, I have a machine similar to this called the Bissell Powerglide. It's been running perfectly since 2001, since July of 2001. That vacuum is almost as old as I am, and it still runs like the day they took it out of the box. When you take care of your machines, whether they cost $50, whether they cost $500, they will last if you take care of them and you follow the proper maintenance. This advice may be falling on deaf ears, but if you're a person where you just don't like to have to worry about maintaining your vacuum, then don't complain when your vacuum breaks after 3 years of you misusing it and not maintaining it correctly. So that's just a super quick video with a little rant. Use the correct vacuums in your, use the correct bags in your vacuums, and make sure that you take care of it, and your vacuum might not break after 2 years. That's all. Bye for now.